Years and years and years ago, in one of my clubs that I lead, there was a little girl with Down syndrome named Ju. She was 13 years old, Vietnamese, and she died. And we went to the funeral, and it was just really sad. Like it is about hope. Ju was only 13. That night, I was really upset, very, very upset when I went to bed. Asked God to help me. That night, I had a dream that has stuck with me, and that's very appropriate to hope right now. I dreamed I had gone to heaven, but I was on the outskirts of heaven, looking how to get into the center of heaven. And it was all misty and foggy. Like, you ever been on a foggy day? It's just all misty and foggy. And I'm just looking around trying to find my way. And then I see these little black dots way in the distance, and they're kind of moving back and forth. I don't know what they are. But then they start to get closer, and I realize, oh, it's people. There's people walking towards me. Then they get closer, and I recognize who they are. They're all my club kids who all were in wheelchairs when I was with them. And it's them. They're out of their wheelchairs. They're running, skipping, jumping, laughing. Kids who were in wheelchairs, kids who couldn't talk, they weren't verbal, they were talking. And I looked to the right, and there was a huge junk pile of wheelchairs. They were no longer in their wheelchairs. They were whole, they were healed, they were happy. Mm. And they ran up to me, surrounded me, and said, Nick, we are the ushers in heaven. Mm. Everybody that comes here, we're the ones that greet them. Mm-hmm. That was my dream.
Thank you, Nick, for sharing. So Nick was sharing this dream with Kathy the other day when we were meeting with Kathy and supporting her. And that evening, Sarah, one of our Sparrows mom, Matt's mom, she shared with me on Messenger, and she sent me this text. So I'm reading her text right now, okay? She said, I was taken by the hand by Jesus into heaven. He brought me into a spacious coffee shop. And yes, there is a coffee shop in heaven. Very alive with lots of people conversing excitedly. And Jesus brought me to a table and sat me down across from a beautiful young woman. Then he left. And the young woman was stunningly beautiful. She was in her 20s. She has a ponytail and piercing, beautiful eyes. We began to have a conversation. I noticed as we talked that I was becoming more and more delighted with her. She was wearing a short white dress with red and gold embroidered flowers on top. After a while, I realized I didn't know her name. I said, I'm sorry, but what is your name? She smiled and said to me, you know my name. My name is Hope. You know me from Sparrows. And then she said, I want you to pass on a message to my mother. Tell her I am perfect and I am praying for her and I am an usher in heaven. I will be the one to greet her when she comes into heaven. And she says, such is the kingdom of heaven.
Wow, beautiful.
Yes, I'm just totally like, wow, God is just so good. How loving he is, ministering to Kathy through Nick and Sarah. The day when I heard the news about Hope, I was devastated. And it also brought me memories about Brian, who was a very gentle, sweet, and loving older gentleman who was my age. I mean, he was 50 years old when he passed 2 years ago. And with Brian's passing and now Hope, I realized that disability ministry is not just only teaching our special friends and their families on God's word. Yes, I'm building a community and yes, teaching God's word, but also walking the journey together, sharing God's love and ministering to others. God, reveals to us who really is, and he reveals to us about our loved ones in heaven after they pass, the eternal continuation of life as God's children. And why would he reveal to us? Because he wants to give us hope. He wants to encourage us. He wants to heal our heart wounds. He wants us to know him more. And our children who are disabled in this life are perfect and beautiful in heaven. And the beauty of all is that each one of us carries a piece of God. Nick carries a piece, Sarah carries a piece. And when it puts together, it shows a beautiful picture of God's love and grace. So I hope this message encourages you all. And thank you for Nick sharing your dream. And thank you for Sarah sharing the vision that you had.